Jose Miraflor, Vice President of COBRA Architecture and Consumer Connections.
All right, Jose, we've just been through an exciting presentation, some of the new products for 2025. We've got some samples here. Why don't you kind of go through with us and talk about the key innovation, especially when we're talking about the DS Adapt and the revolutionary new fitting system that you have available.
Thank you for that. Yeah, we're very excited about our 2025 arrangement of drivers. You can see 4 drivers here in front of you made for 4 different types of golfers. Low spin for that faster player, looking to control trajectory, probably a tour type of player. A better player driver in the X, which is a great combination of speed and forgiveness. Our first 10K driver, called the Max K, means super stability for all golfers. And then of course a lightweight Max D driver delivering slice correction or draw creation for those golfers that need it. Some technologies that are common across the board here: aerodynamics across the board. We use advanced aerodynamics to help you gain some speed. We have internal weighting systems called advanced weighting to either push CG forward or push CG back to help you gain some moment of inertia. And then of course the hot face technology, which are 15 different hot spots that the engineers create in the faces, and we measure to be the exact precise thickness to give you more CT across the face. And last but not least, the brand new fitting system that we have that we're calling Future Fit 33. It's hard to believe a hosel this small can have 33 unique settings to help you dial in your game, but basically if you show us your miss, we can share perfection with you by dialing it in, reducing your dispersion, and giving you the confidence to swing faster for more distance.
You know, the fitting options seem complex for most people when they look at it at first, but you know, you've shown us it really is a very intuitive system. Why don't you explain a little bit about that process and how people will dial in their fit?
The easiest way to think about a fitting process is a golfer comes in and warms up, and as they're warming up, the fitter is taking note of where their ball flies. You then start to think about what's the right head for them, what's the right shaft, what's the right loft. Once that is dialed in, the Future Fit system really helps you out because it takes you from a true neutral and can move your ball flight in any direction, whether it's higher, lower, more right, or more left. You can really dial that in. So you can share with us, oh, right now I hit it high right and I want it to be more draw bias and a little bit lower. We can move you across our fitting system and show you what that is, or dialing you in back to the neutral is what we call it, because neutral is the perfect shot. Whether it's slightly fade or slightly draw, right in the middle is perfect. And that's all we're doing here. We're gonna take a look at your misses, and we're gonna give you maybe 2 or 3 settings to try, not 33, 2 or 3 settings to try, and that's gonna pretty much take you to a place where you're gonna be in a much tighter dispersion and more confidence in swinging that driver.
So we've got 4 heads, but there's also some extra options within that. And you know, again, as you talked about with the fitting system, is this sort of almost like a fantasy land of something you would have thought of, you know, if you thought 20 years ago when you know you're working in the game and projected ahead of what would I like to see from a fitting perspective? Is this that fantasy sort of realized?
You know, we really didn't. When you get to adjustable hosels, what was great about it is you can swap out shafts and heads real easily, so that made it really easy to fit tour players. What makes it harder is that when you were with a single sleeve, where we were before, when you made adjustments to the loft, you were changing lie angles. There was no way to decouple that system. This new system, like you said, is, if you thought about 20 years ago when we were glued shafts, we were able to bend drivers by heating them up, loft lie, any direction you want, but that's it, right? And you're probably messing up a paint job. What you're doing now is the ability to do that with this hosel. You can go just higher in loft, lower in loft, not changing lie angle, and that hasn't been able to be done from a true center, if you will, ever. And that's what we're bringing to the market. So we're able to help golfers that need more fade. Before, most of the drivers today give you more draw as you adjust them. You might need more fade, and we're able to give you that, or maybe you need lower ball flight but more draw. We're able to do that together too. So we're able to give you any direction you want from a true center. I think that's the most exciting piece of it, is you can really dial in not only your driver but your fairways and your hybrids, your whole long game. You can create a trajectory that you're happy to have all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the magic as well. I mean, we're looking at the drivers, but you mentioned the fairways and the hybrids. You know, that's an area where a lot of people have missed out putting maybe the hybrids in the bag because they couldn't get the shot shape that they want. But, you know, now you've got something that it can give them, especially in the flatter lies, for those players that don't want to see a golf ball go left if they're right-handed.
You hit it right on the nose. Most people, better players, like to play utility irons because the utility iron, they can still adjust to the lie angle they want. You can't really adjust a hybrid that way, but now you can. You can actually take a hybrid that's typically for most people a little draw bias and make it actually fade bias with the new Future Fit 33 system, and thereby being able to dial in your long game to match your iron game so that you're approaching the green with the same style of descending angle of the golf ball and really have a predictable result for yourself.
And how has the reaction been so far for people that you're doing testing with, maybe tour staff or better players? What's their thoughts when they see this first time? Are they amazed? Are they just confounded? What's the overriding sentiment, I guess?
The first thing when you show them 33 settings is they get a little caught off guard. They're like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. How am I ever going to understand that? You really don't need to understand it, right? You just need to know that if you look at a sheet and you say, here's where I hit it, here's where I want to hit it, you just need to try a couple settings. It's been very well received. Once we get to talk to people what it's about, what it can do, and the simple protocol of how to utilize it, it's very easy. You're only going to have to try 2 or 3 settings. I think we've had multiple sales meetings, multiple media launches, and now I've spent some time with our tour staff, including brand new tour staff that have never hit COBRA drivers before, and they've all been amazed about how easy it is to dial in their game with this Future Fit system.
The other aspect too is that, you know, you've been consumer friendly with an app that actually goes with it as well. Why don't you explain that, sort of why you sort of took that approach and how simple it is to use?
We know that a lot of people are DIYers out there. Sure, you go into a store and you get fit, and there are a lot of people that are investing in that, and I'm so happy that you are, because no matter what skill level you are, you can always benefit from getting a good fit. I think some people will want to try and tinker on their own, and when you're a DIYer, you need to be able to have some type of system to help you. So we developed an app that actually allows you to show the app where you hit your golf ball relative to neutral. And then the app will tell you what settings to try to bring you to the neutral zone or to a perfect, what we would call trajectory drive. And then you can still fine tune from there. Say for example, yeah, you like that, but you want a little fade to it, or you want to be a little more draw bias to it. We can help you create that through this app. It's so user friendly, I can even use it. So I just can't help but think that a lot of people are going to benefit by utilizing the system that we're putting out in 2025.
Simplified complexity, right?
That's right, simplified complexity.
Thanks, Jose, appreciate it.
Thank you.